senior and junior colleagues, friends. This is one topic which I thought should be a kind of curtain raiser for all the DNB postgraduates and the house surgeons who are getting the training over here. Because in the month of April, actually we are going to have 1 day or 2 day workshop organized by the National Board of Examinations, who is the apex body of DNB curriculum. They are going to hold it in Kolkata actually, and the circular has already arrived, and I have given it for circulation to all the unit heads. It will be held in Kolkata, 1500 rupees registration fee, and it is meant for the second year PGTs, but I think first year, second year or third year anybody can attend. So to kind of arouse the interest in this, I mean all of them would require this, but some way or other they kind of get away with whatever they write in their thesis, and then it ultimately gets the nod from the apex body. But then what are the different things which they should know actually. At the outset, I must tell you that this is not for the senior people over here, because I can see only them. But anyway, please bear with me, and for the next 30-35 minutes. So Isaac Newton had said that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulder of the giants. Similarly, Freeman Dawson had said that the great advances in science usually result from new tools rather than from new doctrines. And Francis Bacon had said that reading makes a fool man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So that's what writing is all about. And we all know that without publication, science is dead, because it doesn't percolate. And one person, Jacqueline Clark, had said this in his blog, that publishing is the chief currency in this universe. We all know this. The main source of validation of one's research, and often the key indicator of academic success. Even promotion and tenure committees value peer-reviewed publications above all. In all the medical colleges this is happening. That is regrettably even above the clinical performance or the community service. So there lies the importance of publication and writing good scientific articles. We all know that the information life cycle is something like that, because it goes on and on from the primary research, which you can term it as discovery. From there it communicates, and then it gets submitted, peer reviewed, and then published. So this way it goes, and then the secondary research goes on that particular discovery or particular thing, so that it disseminates to the entire world, to that particular scientific fraternity, and then again the research on that goes on and on. So this is kind of a cycle which goes on, which we all know about. So what is the definition of a scientific paper? An accepted original scientific publication containing scientific information to enable the peers to assess the observations, to repeat the experiments, to evaluate the intellectual processes, which must have an impact, which should be available to scientific community without restriction, and should be available for regular screening by one or more of the major recognized secondary services like biological abstracts, index medicus, PubMed, etc. All the regulatory bodies, all the web libraries, etc. Now what is the, if we look back, the origin of scientific writing? It was felt actually that knowledge is lost without written records, and we all can see even today that the cave paintings and inscriptions were the first attempts to leave records. And during around 2000 BC, papyrus paper was used as a medium of communication. In 190 BC, parchment was made from animal skin, and which came into use. In 105 AD, the Chinese people, they invented paper, and one of the biggest steps the human evolution had taken. knowledge could not be widely circulated with no effective duplication. That was again failed. And in 1180, the Chinese invented the movable type, the type machine, the type, those materials was invented. And in 1455 AD, Gutenberg printed his first 42-line Bible from movable type on a printing press. So that was another milestone. And by the year 1500, thousands of copies of hundreds of books called incubula were printed. And in 1665, the first scientific journals were published. So we are about 400 years from there. So how to start with all this background? Let's come to the business now. How to start? Think and ponder always before writing anything or before embarking on a particular topic. Is the paper worth writing? What do I have to say? Is it worth saying? What is the audience for the message? That is always very, very important. What is the right format for my message? Where should I publish the message? And what are the requirements so that my paper is published? Because from the go, like when you start writing a particular word, from there to the because from the word go, like when you start writing a particular word for your particular scientific article, till it is published in a particular journal or wherever you have wanted to, the whole process is important. Each and every step is important. We will come to see. What is the right format? Because that is the most important thing. How you can hit the audience, how you can carry your message forward. Besides the most crucial message of your paper, research paper, or it is a case report, or it is a letter to editor, or an editorial, or a review article, or etc. etc. You all know there are various categories. An increased emphasis is being laid on randomized controlled clinical trials. The RCTs, we all know that, because randomized clinical trials, controlled clinical trials are the mainstay of any scientific research. Then how do I write a research paper or RCT? There comes the IMRAD story. We all know this is the particular format which we all follow. The introduction, methods, results and discussion. So this is the particular format which we will be talking about a little bit in detail. Every journal earlier had published descriptive papers, still used in case reports, geological surveys, etc. By the second half of the 19th century, reproducibility of experiments became a fundamental principle of the philosophy of science. So that every other person can do the same research, same experiment and should get a similar kind of result. The methods section became all important since Louis Pasteur confirmed the germ theory of disease. IMRAD organization of a scientific paper started to develop, and by the later half of 19th century, IMRAD format slowly progressed. What is that format? We all know that. Introduction means what questions or the problems were studied. Methods in how the problems were studied. Results in what are the findings, and discussion is what do these findings mean. Very simple. IMRAD is very simple. Everybody should get to the, but then each sentence has got a tremendous meaning inside it. Because if you deviate from that particular meaning, if you cross over from discussion to results or results to introduction like that, then your whole paper or scientific presentation becomes invalid. You will just go